Yo, it's Yerk, and today I'm bringing you a step-by-step tutorial on how you can get the ID scanning chest from the agency and a working phone booth in Fortnite Creative. By the end of this tutorial, you'll have the agency phone booth and a working ID scanning chest in your own creative map. If you guys enjoyed this at any point, don't forget to drop a like, hit subscribe, do whatever you want to do and all that stuff. And if you want to support me, you can use code YerkYT in the item shop and it really helps me out a lot. Okay. Now let's get into this tutorial. I'll start by showing you guys how we're going to make the phone booth, but if you already saw my last video, you can skip ahead to the timestamp that I'll put on screen right now. So we're going to start with the phone booth. First, we're going to open up the creative menu and we're going to click the shape filter on the side. Then open up the cube gallery and we want to grab the orangish reddish cube and place it down. We're going to start by resizing it, shrinking the height axis as much as possible, and then we just want to set it on the ground. Then open up the creative menu again and go back, and now we're going to open up the visualizer gallery extra large. From this gallery, we want to grab this tall red visualizer piece and we want to place it down. Now we're going to copy our original cube and we're going to resize it by shrinking it all the way. Once it's all the way shrunk, we're going to change the axis to height, and then we want to increase it until it's a little taller than our player model. Then we want to place it down so it sits in the corner of the cube on the floor, and we're going to repeat this for all four sides. Okay, now we need to copy the floor cube and we want to put it on the top, just like I'm doing. Then we need to open up our creative menu, then we're going to need to open the square pyramid gallery. All we need from here is the matching pyramid piece, and once you have that, you're just going to want to take it and place it on the top of our phone booth. Next, grab the visualizer piece we grabbed earlier and we want to make it as small as possible. Then make it tall enough using the height axis to fit between the top and the bottom of our phone booth. Place two of these on each side, evenly spaced out like you can see me doing in the video. Once you have them all placed, we're going to shrink the height and rotate it so it's laying parallel to the ground. Then we're going to take them and we're going to place them down horizontally like I'm doing. And this is just going to give it that phone booth look. Now we just need to open the creative menu and type door in the search bar. You can use whatever door you want, but I'm using the open frame one here. We're going to take that door and we're just going to set it on the open side of our phone booth. Open up the creative menu and grab a Billboard device. Place it down, and then we're going to put a phone emoji on it. If you're on PC, just open Google and type in phone emoji, click the first link, and press copy. And if you're on console, just open up your keyboard in the Billboard and look for a phone emoji and see if it'll let you do it as well. So then what we do is we just open up the Billboard settings and we're going to hit Control V, go down and change the font to Burbank. We also want to turn borders off and set the background to clear, but then we just click OK, and as you can see, the emoji now shows up on our billboard. Then just place the billboard at the top of our phone booth and we're ready to get started with how we're going to make this scanning ID chest. Okay, so first we need to gather our props and devices, so open up the creative menu and we need to find the Dusty Depot and Diner props gallery. We want to open this up and we want to grab the scanner prop and save it to our hotbar. Then we need to head to the devices tab. We need to grab the chest gallery, a class selector, an attribute trigger, a perception trigger, a button, a regular trigger, and the objective device gallery. Start by setting the scanner prop and the chest gallery down and delete the unneeded chests so we can begin. Pull the class selector from your hotbar and we're going to set it right in front of the telephone booth. Open up the settings and we want to set this to class identifier to class 1. Then change the time to switch to 2 seconds. We also want to turn restore health and shields on switch to no. Then we're also going to turn visibility and volume visibility in game off and then click OK. Okay, now we're going to pull up the attribute trigger and open up the settings. Set the check for class option to class 1. Then set visible in games to no, and then scroll way down and set listen to channel 1. Then we set if checks are valid, transmit on channel 2, and if a check is invalid, transmit on channel 3. So it should be 1, 2, 3, and then click OK. Then place down our regular trigger and open up the settings. We want to put a 5-second delay on this trigger, and then we're going to scroll all the way to the bottom and we're going to set trigger when receiving from channel to channel 2, and when triggered, transmit on channel 3, and then we're going to click OK. Now we want to set up a button, so pull it from your hotbar and open up the settings. We're going to set the interaction text to scan ID, then go down and we're going to turn visibility in game to off. Then we're going to set the interaction radius to 0.25, scroll to the bottom and set disable when receiving from channel 2, and when interacted with, transmit on channel 1, and then click OK. Next to the button, place down a perception trigger and open up the settings. We're going to set the visible in game option to off, and we need to set the enabled at game start option to disabled. Then set the enable when receiving from option to channel 1, and then set disable when receiving from channel to channel 3. We also need to set when device sees a player, transmit on channel to channel 1, and then click OK. Lastly, pull up the objectives gallery and delete all of them except for the cube one. Open up the settings, and then we need to set the health to invulnerable. Find the hide health bar setting and set this to always. Then turn visibility in game to off. Scroll clear to the bottom and set destroy when receiving from channel to channel 2, and then click OK. Now we're going to take that cube and we're going to resize it as best as possible to be the size of our chest, and we're going to place it down so that the chest is inside. Then we just grab our scanner prop and shrink it down and place it on the chest like I'm doing in the video. Then we take our perception trigger and we shrink it down as much as possible, and then we're going to set it right in front of our objective device. Then we're going to grab the button and we're going to do the same thing, so shrink it down and set it right in front of the chest. Make sure the blue zone around the device that represents the interaction zone is partially peeking out of the objective device, and then we're done. Now we just start the game and try to open the chest, and it won't work, but if you go to the phone booth, try again, you scan your ID, and then you can open the chest. And there you guys have it, how to make the agency ID scanner chest in Fortnite creative. If you want, feel free to check out some of my other videos that are on screen now. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, stay up.